All right, good morning. Today is going to be a full day of notes. You can get out Desmos in test mode if you want to have out your computer, but if you have out your computer and it's not in test mode, you will be asked to close it. So Desmos in test mode. And we're going to do a little warm-up real quick. You don't have to write it down, just look up. How would we find the area of an octagon with a radius of 8? Why would we divide 360 by 16? So I'm going to draw an octagon real quick. We'll pretend this is a regular. It should say a regular octagon. But do you agree to find this angle up here, I need to do 360 divided by the number of half sides, which is 16. What is 360 divided by 16? I got 22.5. So this angle up here is 22.5. Do y'all agree? And I'm going to redraw this triangle bigger below it. What else do I know? What's 8? The hypotenuse, because it says the radius. Remember, the radius of a polygon is from the center to one of the vertices. And what do I need to find to figure this out? Louder? I need trig. All right, what's the formula to figure out the area of an octagon? Louder? 1/2 A times P. So I need to find out this apothem, and I need to find out this side right here so I can figure out the perimeter. Do y'all agree with that? All right, so to find out the apothem first, I am going to do trig. Do y'all agree? I have the hypotenuse, and what is that little a? Adjacent. Adjacent over hypotenuse is cos. So the cosine of 22.5 is adjacent over hypotenuse. When the variable is on top, how do I solve? Multiply. So in your calculator, please make sure you are what? In degree mode. Please multiply 8 times 22.5. And when you do this in Desmos, please write a little a before it. So a equals 8 cosine of 22.5. Exactly how I have it written. A equals 8 cosine of 22.5. I gotta be in degrees. Okay. Did y'all get 7.391? Okay. All right, now I need to find what? The side. How do I find this side right here? What is that? Louder? Sorry, I can't hear because that's in my face. Y'all can't see. How do I find this side right here? You could use tan and you could use this a, but I would rather use the 8. So I'm going to use sine. I'm going to do opposite over hypotenuse. Again, you could use tan, but I would prefer to use the 8. So the sine of 22.5 equals opposite, which is s, over hypotenuse. And then again, my variables up top, I can multiply. So in your calculator, please type in s equals 8 sine of 22.5. All right, now that we have both our sides and our apothem, what does s equal? 3.5 0.061? Is that what y'all got? All right. Now that we have both of those things, how do I find my perimeter? Yeah, do you agree S is only half the side right here? So I'm to find the perimeter, I'm going to multiply it by 2. And then I'm going to multiply it by 8 sides. Because 2 times S gives me a full side, then multiply it by 8. So in your calculator, write P equals 2S times 8. It don't matter where you put the parentheses. So I'm going to do capital P on the next line. Capital P equals 2S times 8. And that means my perimeter is, did y'all get 48.983? So now in your calculator, instead of typing in these numbers, I just want you to do 1/2, put the little a, put your capital P, and it should calculate the area for you. Instead of putting in these rounded numbers and getting a wrong rounded answer, put in the letters that you stored them in. So my area, if I type this in the calculator, is 181.019. Did it give us units? It did not give us units. I'm just going to put units squared. Is this ringing a bell from what we did 2 weeks ago? Do y'all agree we've learned this? Okay? So, why did I do this as a warm-up? Well, we are about to find the volume and surface area of prisms and cylinders. And in order to find the volume and surface area of prisms and cylinders, you are going to have to know how to find the perimeters, heights, and areas of the base. So, real quick, as a reminder, a prism is a three-dimensional shape that has, underline this right here, 2 bases. The bases are parallel and congruent. They're the same size and shape. For the lateral surface area of a prism, you're going to see me call this LA. Sometimes I'll call it LSA. Both are the same thing. Pick your heads up. If your head's down, write this down, please. Nudge your friend who has their head down. The formula for lateral surface area of a prism is LA equals PH. What does P stand for in this class? Perimeter. What does H stand for? Height. Now, for a prism, the height, the H, is the distance between your 2 bases. So look at these pictures right here. If your base was standing on, your figure was on its base, the height would be how far apart they are. Do y'all agree with that? Now, are the pictures always going to be standing on the base? No, so sometimes the height's going to be sideways. Just be aware of that. Right, Michael? Head off the desk, please. Thank you. All right. The lateral surface area of a cylinder is actually the exact same thing. However, what is the perimeter of a cylinder? What's the base of a cylinder? A circle. What's the perimeter of a circle? What do we call that? We don't call it perimeter. Circumference. So in this case, P is circumference. H is still height. So instead of saying LA equals PH, it does, but does anybody remember the formula for circumference? Oh, come on, we learned this in middle school. C equals take a guess. I hear y'all saying it. 2 pi r. So this is going to be 2 pi RH. Instead of just putting pH for cylinder, we can put 2 pi RH. Does that make sense? Because the perimeter of a circle is that. That is lateral surface area. What about total surface area? Well, real quick, I didn't even mention this. Lateral surface area, what does that even mean? I just gave you the formula, but we didn't talk about what it is. What does it mean to have the lateral surface area of this cylinder right here? What does the lateral mean? It's around. Lateral surface area is, what is the area around here? Does that make sense? All right, for this one right here, it's what is the area around? Okay? That would mean finding the area of this one, this one, this one, and this one, not the bases. Total surface area is finding your lateral plus what? Plus your bases. So total surface area. The way I like to think of it, I don't know why I have this in my cabinet. Let me see if I still do. Oh no, maybe I got rid of it. Dang, somebody must have it. Oh, no, I do have it. Oops. Lateral surface area. I don't know why it's in here. It's been in here for years. Lateral surface area is this label. So they have to figure out the lateral surface area of a can to figure out how to cover a can. Does that make sense with the label? Total surface area is how much metal they need for the can. Do you agree that includes the bases? And then what's volume? What's inside the can? The SpaghettiOs. How much SpaghettiOs they need. So we're looking at 3 different things to make this can. Do you agree? You need lateral surface area for the label. You need total surface area for the metal. And then you need volume to know how much you can fill the can up. Does that make sense? All right, so I want you to think of SpaghettiOs when you're thinking of these. All right, so lateral surface area is pH. Total surface area, what are we including now? We're still going to include the lateral, but what do we also have to include? The bases. And how many bases are there? So it's going to be plus 2b. Now, what does B stand for? Say that again. Base. B stands for area of the base. Write this down, please. B stands for area of the base. So you're going to have to find your perimeter of the base and your area of the base for this one. Now, for a cylinder, again, it's the same formula, but instead of P, what did we say we were going to do? 2 pi r H plus 2, instead of area of the base, what's the area of a circle? Pi r squared. If you can memorize this one only, you can just fill in what you know about a circle. So you don't necessarily have to memorize all 4 of these. If you can memorize this one and then just plug in circumference. Memorize this one and just plug in your number, what you know about it. Okay? Last but not least, volume of a prism. I'm going to do a different color for volume. Volume of a prism is big BH. What does big B stand for again? Area of the base. And what does H stand for again? Height. If you can memorize these three, you need to memorize these three formulas. You'll have this down. Okay? Please open up your notes. We are going to do 7 examples. It's going to be a long class day. Get ready. If I give you a rectangular prism and I don't have something shaded, what I want you to do, look up please. What I want you to do is your bottom is always going to be the base. This is only on a rectangular prism. A lot of times I'm going to have it shaded so you'll know which one, but if I don't, just make it your bottom one. Okay? So what are the 3 things I need to know before I can even plug into these formulas? Perimeter. If you're on your computer and not in Desmos test mode, close it right now. How do I find the perimeter of this bottom right here? How do you find the perimeter of anything? Add up all the sides. So I know the sides are going to be 10 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5 because it's a rectangle, right? What is 10 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5? 30. Got my perimeter. I need to find my big B. How do you find the area of that base? What shape is it again? How do you find the area of a rectangle? Base times height. Multiply. What is 10 times 5? 50. So that's 50 feet squared because it's area. And then last but not least, what is the height of this? H equals 4. We have the 3 things you need. Now you just need to write down the formula, plug it in, give me an answer. Every time. Write the formula, plug it in, give me an answer. All right? So what is my lateral surface area? What was the formula for lateral surface area? Perimeter times height. Write the formula down. Plug in what you know. My perimeter is 30. My height is 4. And what is 30 times 4? 120. And what are we talking about right here? Area. So what does my units need to be? Feet squared, because it's area. Bam. Questions? How do I find total surface area? What's the formula for total surface area? pH plus 2b. Well, y'all, didn't we just find pH? What was that? So I don't need to plug it in again. I can just write 120. You would only need to plug it in if you hadn't found it first. Plus 2. What is my big B? What did we say big B was? 50. And what is 2 times 50? So what is 120 plus 100? And again, we're still talking about area, so it's still feet squared. Do I have any questions so far? We're okay? Write that down, please. All right, for my next problem, what kind of prism is this? Triangular. Where is my base here? The triangle. So everybody box the triangle and kind of shade it in a little bit. I need to know or find my P and my B for that triangle. How do I find the perimeter of this triangle if I only have two sides? You could absolutely do Pythagorean theorem. It's a right triangle, do y'all agree? But I have 4 and 5. It's what? Oh, it's also over there, dang. But what if this wasn't there? Because that's probably what your quiz is going to look like. What if this wasn't there? It's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Didn't even notice that. But just know that. You could do Pythagorean theorem if you didn't have that other side and it wasn't there. Okay? So I'm going to add them together. 3 plus 4 plus 5 equals 12 inches. How do I find the area of the base? How do you find the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height. Do y'all agree with that? What's the base of this triangle? Be careful. That's the base of the prism. Just look at my purple triangle for right now. 3. What's the height then? 4. Remember, you have to use your right angle for your base and your height. So 1/2 of 3 times 4 is 6 inches squared. And then what's the last thing I need to know? What is the height of the prism? How far apart are my two bases? 8. So 8 is the height. Even though it's not standing on the bases, you can still find the height because it's what's between them. All right, I'm going to give you 1 minute. I would like you to answer the 2 questions. Go. Look up when you're done, please. Oh, 108. I'm so sorry. I did math wrong. Thank you. Just seeing if anybody's paying attention. Right? Did y'all get 96 though? Okay. Can I move on? All right. So, is this pretty basic? Are we okay with this, right? Pretty middle school, in my opinion. Some of you are looking at me like I'm crazy, but y'all did this in middle school. Do you agree? Okay. These were STAR questions. You can do this. Now, this one, you definitely didn't do in middle school. This one's going to take a little bit more effort. So, what do I know here? It's a regular octagon. What else do I know? Each side is 5 centimeters. So can I find the perimeter? Yeah. How would I find the perimeter? 5 times 8 or 8 times 5, which is 40 centimeters. That was the easy part. What else do I know? What's the height of this prism? What? 22. Sorry, I just didn't hear you. The height is 22. We like that. All right, last but not least, what do I need to find out? Big B. This goes back to why I did that warm-up problem. How do I find big B? Don't I have to do 1/2 little a, and then we already know the perimeter is what? 40. How do I find that little a? I'm going to have to do what? Trick. So real quick, to find the angle, it is an octagon, so 360 divided by what? 16, double the number of sides. And we already did that in the warm-up, which was 22.5. I'm going to, where should I do this at? I'm going to do this kind of over here. Okay, I'm going to redraw this. If I draw that triangle again, what is this down here going to be? 2.5, not 5, but 2.5, because do y'all agree it's half the side? I know that this is 22.5, and I want to find my A. What do I have here? I have opposite, and I have adjacent, which is TOA, or tan. The tangent of 22.5 equals opposite over adjacent. 2.5 over A. What do I do? Switch. And put that in your calculator. 2.5 divided by 22.5. And I'm going to label that as little a. A equals 2.5 divided by the tan, sorry, not 22.5. Tan of 22.5 is 6.034. I mean 6. Is that what y'all got? Okay. So little a is 6.036. And put that in the calculator, but instead of putting the 6.036, what are you going to put in your calculator? The little a. Because you made it a equals. So I'm going to do 1/2 little a. And then what was the perimeter? 40. What is your B? $120.711. Are we okay with that? Does it help that we did that warm up before this? Okay. All right, can you do the rest now? By the way, hold on, go back. In Desmos, what I would do is I would label that at the front, label it big B, so that you can, your equation, 1/2 little a 40, label that big B so that you can just kind of plug it into your calculator and you're not plugging in the rounded answer. Does that make sense? All right. Go. Do these next two. Did y'all get 880 for the lateral surface area? Okay. And then for total surface area, 880 plus 2 times, and in the calculator I'm going to do the big B so it's accurate and I'm not rounding. 1121.421. Are we okay? Do I have any questions about what I did, any steps that I took? We sure? I like how Michael's nodding to me, but his eyes are closed. Pick your head up. Thank you. All right, I'm going to do one, then you're going to do one for the next one. Are you ready? Can I move on? Or not yet? We're okay? All right. Number 4. What was the formula for lateral surface area of a cylinder? Flip back if you need it. Or does anybody, instead of writing pH, what would we write? 2 pi RH. Well, what is my radius here? It's not 3. 3 is the diameter. What's the radius going to be? 1.5. R equals 1.5. So 2 pi 1.5. What's my H? H is 4. This says in terms of pi, so you are going to put this in the calculator, but do not put pi, because I want pi in my answer. So what is 2 times 1.5 times 4? So my answer is what? Just 12? 12 pi centimeters squared. This right here is in terms of pi. We could also call this exact. So sometimes I say leave it into the exact answer. That's an exact answer. Sometimes I say leave it in terms of pi. Those are the same things. If I don't say exact, if I say round or approximate, that means put pi in the calculator. Okay? Total surface area is what? 2 pi plus pH plus 2b. But in this case, it's 2 pi RH plus 2 what? What's the area of a base? Pi r squared. So I'm just going to, we already know this is what? 12 pi plus 2 pi 1.5 squared. Do y'all agree that gives me 4.5 pi? Can I add these together? Why? They're like terms. They both have pi. So what is 12 pi plus 4.5 pi? 16.5 pi centimeters squared. Does that make sense? All right, I want you to do the next one on your own. Go. I'll give you about a minute and a half. Oh, just kidding. This is asking for volume. I wasn't paying attention. Volume. Were you paying attention? I hear you racing. You weren't paying attention either? That's okay. As long as we recognize it now. Volume. What was the formula for volume? Do y'all agree it was big BH? And for cylinders, what is the base? What is the big B formula? Area of a, but what is the base shape? A circle. So how do you find the area of a circle? Pi r squared h. What's my r here? And my height is 20. So this one wants exact. That means do not put pi in the calculator. So my volume is 1,280 pi centimeters, and it's volume, so what are we going to have? Cubed. That's my exact answer. How do I get the approximate answer? Put pi in the calculator. So 1280 with pi is going to be approximately what? 239 centimeters, goodness gracious, cubed. Does that make sense? Do I have any questions? We're okay? All right, we're almost done, I promise. Find the height of this cylinder. This time we are going to have to work backwards. I give you the volume. I'm giving you the radius. How do I find the height? Well, volume, do you agree, is big BH? And for a cylinder, what is big B? What's the area of the base of a cylinder? Pi r squared h. Do y'all agree with that? So fill in what you know. I know volume is 234 pi. I know we have pi, I know r squared, and I know h. What can I do here to get h by itself? The pi's can cancel. What is 9 squared? So 234 equals 81h. How do I get h by itself? Divide. What is 234 divided by 81? Okay, don't give me a decimal repeating. 26 over 9. H is 26 over 9 centimeters. All right, last one for our notes. Again, I want volume. This, I don't know if you can tell, is an equilateral triangle. Did y'all get 26 over 9? Sorry, I did that kind of fast. Are we okay? Okay. This is a triangle. How do I find? Volume is big BH. How do I find the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 BH. And this is kind of weird because we have two H's, right? This H is the height of the triangle. This H is the height of the prism. So I'm going to kind of label them H1, H2. 18 is my H2. Do y'all agree? That's the height of the prism. How do I find the height of this triangle? Louder? It's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. How do we know that? I'm going to kind of do that right over here. Do you agree it's equilateral? So what are all the angles? 60 degrees. And then if we cut it in half with the height, this is 30. Well, what's this down here? 3. So what is my height going to be? This is my short leg. What is my long leg going to be? 3 root 3. Be careful. What is the base of my triangle? The base is this one right here. Don't think this is the base. That's a common mistake people make. That's only half the triangle. The whole base is 6. What's my height? 3 root 3. And what's the height of the prism? 18. I want the exact answer. So what am I going to do to get the exact answer? Don't put root 3 in the calculator. So what is 1/2 times 6 times 3 times 18? What do y'all get? Don't put root 3 in the calculator. 1/2 6 times 3 times 18. What'd you get? 162 root 3 centimeters cubed because it's volume. Was that a lot of notes or was that a lot of notes? Not too bad? All right, it was a lot of me talking, but doesn't make sense as we go along. All right, what's going to probably be the most difficult part about this? Honestly, finding your big B. Because every single problem could have a different big B, depending on what type of prism it is. Does that make sense? All right. You have homework in Schoology. It is worksheet 2. You are, it is due at the beginning of class tomorrow. You are going to have to show work. We just showed so much work right now. So please make sure that you get a sheet of notebook paper, organize it neatly. hold on, listen real quick. I want you to, just like we did here, you don't have to draw the pictures, but you do need to label. Tell me what P is. Tell me what B is. Give me the formula, substitute, give me the answer. Please box your answer. All right. Your homework is 8 questions. But there are 7 questions. There are 14 questions. 7 questions, but there are 2 problems each. All right. Please show me work. That's it for today.